This week we read Beauty and the Feast, a small town Thanksgiving romance by Anita King. Amalia, I was married once to a man who told me he loved me despite my secret. He changed his mind and left me with a broken heart. I've spent the last 15 years burying myself in my work to forget that love simply isn't on the menu for me. Then Donovan Smith, a bitter billionaire that everyone loves to hate, hires me to cater his Thanksgiving dinner. I feel an instant connection with the harsh, handsome man, one that speaks to my aching soul. I want more than anything to be with Donovan, but I know once he learns I can't give him what every man wants, it'll end the same way it always does. Or will it? Donovan. Everything I touch turns to gold. At least that's what my employees say, but that's not true when it comes to relationships. My cheating ex-wife hates me, and I haven't seen my children in over a year. I love those kids, but I don't have the first clue how to show it. When I meet Amalia, the curvy chef who signs on to cook my broken family a Thanksgiving feast, my dormant heart jolts back to life. Learning to love suddenly doesn't seem so hard if she's by my side. But the closer I try to get to Amalia, the farther she pulls away. This curvy beauty knows just how to tame my beast, but can I convince her she desires a happily ever after? If you like sweet insta-love romance with steamy sex scenes and heartfelt stories that touch on deeper topics, you'll love this book. No cliffhangers in this steamy, sweet Thanksgiving romance. Dude, my hand is so fucking itchy. I'm gonna have to go to Walmart and get like an antihistamine. I was gonna try to send Grace, and then I realized I don't think she can buy me Benadryl.
She can buy Benadryl.
Can she?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
She just can't buy the one that has like the pharmacy one.
Got it. Okay. I might
But she
send
can
her.
buy like Benadryl cream or just like regular like over the
I just
counter.
need the tablets,
Yeah,
yeah.
she can buy that.
'Cause you might be able to see it. I don't know.
Hold on, let me move my box. Oh, yep, a little bit.
This
It
hand.
doesn't look, yeah, it doesn't look as bad as I think the picture
It's
yesterday. So,
swollen still. It's itchy as fuck. I have
ooh.
3 bites on my finger.
Go away.
Um,
This
so
fucking fly
it
is
is
pissing me off.
what?
My kid stood in the doorway talking to his friend for like 2 hours yesterday and let in a fly, and I've been fucking hunting it all fucking evening and this morning. Sorry. But yeah, you guys didn't have Benadryl at the house?
No.
Oh, I think you mistexted then because you said your text said you had Benadryl.
I wasn't sure. I was checking.
Gotcha.
Um, I had Benadryl like cream, like well, like the
And that didn't do
gel.
anything? Yeah.
No, because it's like internal. It's like internally itchy.
I was gonna say sometimes if it was a bite, it would help, but it might have already sealed
No,
over or
it's not.
something.
It's not even where the bite is that's itchy.
Interesting.
It's on my hand that's itchy. It's like
Yeah.
all in where it's all swollen is itchy.
Gross.
Okay, first of all, welcome back to another rendition of characters I didn't give two shits about.
And
I feel like this description is so misleading up to what we actually got.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Before we started, how are you? How are you doing? How's the year going so far? We're zooming through it, I
Yeah,
guess.
life is just life and life is just life and man.
Oh
Wild
my God.
times. I I have to tell you, we kind of took a little bit of I don't want to say detour, but we kind of took a little bit of a segue from our double stuffed November and just kind of highlighted Thanksgiving themed this year. And I think that that was
A mistake.
yet another mistake on our part.
I don't
Um,
know. Okay. I feel I feel like okay, hear me out. We started the month unhinged. And honestly,
yep.
I love that for us and I think that
Mm,
that's probably the peak. We started
yep.
at the peak and it only goes
Yeah.
downhill from here.
You
I don't
know,
I They can't all be winners, but I mean, I don't know. It I read
mm,
it. The thing is it's only 62 pages. I feel like maybe It should have been longer. And for some reason, I think I forgot the description because when I read it, I was like, oh, Beauty and the Feast. Love this. It's going to be another sentient book. No, it's not. I think my
Yeah.
brain was already in sentient mode. And I was like,
Speaking of sentient and
yes.
our beginning of the month, I did in fact go back and read the ice cream book, the next book in the series
Yeah.
to the Basted book.
Yeah.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's that Basted was exactly what we were looking for in that unhinged gravy train of what you wanted,
Gravy, literally.
but this ice cream was so unhinged, but in a way that just didn't do it for me in the same way.
Yeah. Honestly, sometimes I have found some unhinged books do it for me better than others do.
Yeah. And I was slightly disappointed after reading the
Basted.
Basted one. Yeah. Not that it was tragic necessarily, but there were certain little aspects to it because, okay. Oh my gosh, this freaking fly
I
that my
know, I
kid
keep
let in.
seeing the fly. I saw the fly go
Drive me
across the
crazy.
camera.
See if I can I almost hit it with my Kindle. That would have been a bad idea. It's a bad idea, right? Okay, so excuse me, back it up. Spoiler alert. If you haven't read it or you want to read it, don't listen to the next like 20 seconds. Skip ahead. But basically, she she like strong arms the ice cream into like doing dirty things with her, and it's
Oh,
so like it makes it so that he's so innocent and has no idea what he's doing, and she's like tricking
oh,
him.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it just gave me icky vibes with that
Yeah.
aspect, and I was like,
Okay.
oh, this kind of ruins the whole
Yeah.
concept for me. He's like,
Boo.
oh, but what does it do? I don't know. I just want my ice cream back.
Oh
Oh,
my
but
God.
you have to search for it through this hole. Yeah, it was that kind of.
Oh, I
It
don't
just
like
took
that.
it to a different level, and I was like not quite here for it.
Ugh, gross. Well,
Yeah,
th-
unfortunately. And
yeah.
sometimes you dabble a little too close to the sun.
Yeah. And sometimes you read what we read this week.
Yes. Yes.
So
And still, it was better than what we were originally going to read.
that's tragic.
Yeah.
Amalia is out with her friend Brittany at a bar. And honestly, in my opinion, Brittany is too good of a friend for this bitch. And Brittany is trying to point out men for her. And while Amalia can admire her competence, she gives an eye roll. She compares Brittany to being a new stiletto and herself is a worn down favorite sneaker. So apparently they're very different. But the one thing that they have in common is that they're both single because this is apparently the worst thing possible to be. And I also did not like how she just down talked herself all the fucking time. And also, yeah. And because of how different they are, Amalia doesn't understand how they're besties. But they have been friends since Brittany decided to be her friend months ago at this exact same
Brittany,
bar,
bitch.
right? So now instead of spending nights at home alone while all her other friends are with their families, she
I'm
is
sorry,
getting
just
drunk.
at home alone.
Yeah. She is out getting drunk with bubbly Brittany. She said she's not complaining, but I feel like she is complaining a lot. And honestly, Brittany is trying really hard to get Amalia to show an interest in any single one of these men. But Amalia just feels like there's no point in pursuing a romantic relationship with anybody. It always ends the same way. Brittany can see that this conversation is going nowhere, so she decides to just switch it up and asks if she's come up with a business plan yet. So basically, Amalia has spent the last 15 years in the restaurant business and she wants to create her own business, like catering business, but it's kind of like personal chefy, but also catering. It's like a little bit of both. And while she's done her research, in the small town that they currently are in, the only people who are looking for personal chefs, and they're either busy parents who want someone else to throw something together for their kids or party planners who want the same menu repeated for everybody, which honestly, if you're going to start out a business, I don't know, maybe start there and don't be so fucking picky. Sorry. Sometimes us parents want someone else to handle shit for once because we do a lot. I get it. And I
He just wanted more of a higher end clientele.
Which I understand, but at the same time, you have to start somewhere.
But she was afraid that if she started there, she would get stuck in that little
Yeah,
pocket. Yeah,
well,
yeah,
she doesn't have a lot of drive.
yeah.
And Brittany gives her
I
a
think she's
look.
just sad in her life.
Brittany gives her the look that I also gave her, which is that you're being too picky. But
Miss
that's the
Piggy.
problem. She doesn't even know what she wants. Brittany is
Do they want what I
determined
really, really want?
and says, listen, people don't know what they want, but you do, which kind of contradicts the whole thing going on in Amalia's brain. But okay. She's like, you just need to tell them. And that is where Brittany comes in. And while Amalia doesn't like accepting help from others because it makes her feel like a charity case, Brittany is correct because she works for a huge marketing firm. But Amalia tells Brittany she just doesn't know that she's the kind of client her firm can work with. But Brittany says, well, I'm not going to go through the firm. I will just do it myself because she wants to help and she's going to do it for free. This is like the best friend possible. And again, I feel like Amalia doesn't deserve her. Because she's wanting her to live out her
It
dreams
almost
and like do
gives vibes of, remember that friend who was friends with that other bitch from the desert island, or not the desert, but they were deserted from falling off the cruise ship.
yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I just think it's so funny that we got there. Hmm.
It gives that vibe.
Yeah, yeah, it does. So yeah, the conversation ends up shifting to Brittany's boss, who is Mr. Smith, who is apparently always grumpy. But Brittany's, and Amalia was like, well, why don't you just quit? And Brittany's like, well, I'm not going to quit because not everybody has savings to live on. Plus, the job actually pays really well, and he's kind of hot. So, whatever. Throughout this conversation, it hits Brittany that Mr. Smith's ex-wife is in town and he wants Brittany to set up this whole Thanksgiving feast. And honestly, oh my God, wait a second. This is fucking perfect because now Amalia could be the chef for this Thanksgiving dinner. And Mr. Smith is rich and she can just charge a lot of money for her services and make enough to live off of until her next big score. It is literally the perfect way to jumpstart her business. And Amalia has to admit that, yeah, this
And the
is
best part, Brittany
this is
wouldn't
great.
have to have anything to do with it.
Hell fucking yeah. Kudos to Brittany, honestly. Yes. Then we get Mr. Smith's point of view, which his name is actually Donovan, but they call him Mr. Smith a lot throughout this book. Or Amalia just calls him Donovan Smith, which, okay, cool. But anyways, Amalia is going to go in for an interview for this Thanksgiving thing. And we learn that he's only doing it because his ex-wife Mindy basically forced him to host Thanksgiving dinner this year, stating that he hasn't seen his kids in over a year and there's no excuses. I have my own opinions about that. This is
Oh,
time for family, but he is kind of bitter about it because he's going to be hosting his ex-wife and the guy she cheated on him with and his two kids who could care less about their real dad and a handful of extended relatives that are only coming for free food, but whatever. He's going to do this interview. He introduces himself to Amalia, and oh my God, he takes a moment to let his eyes wander all over her because she is doing things to him. He asks her some personal questions, and she calls him out for a little bit, asking if it's really that important. But he insists that if they're going to work together, they need to be open with each other. Okay. And he ends up hiring her. She let him know that we haven't even fucking discussed this menu. And he tells her, listen, get whatever you want, cook whatever feels necessary. I trust your abilities. This woman that he met this hour.
and gave
He,
her the keys to his house and all this. Like,
yeah,
what,
the
what,
key
what?
everything. Yeah. He tells her that 12 people will be attending and no one has allergies that he knows of, just a bunch of judgmental relatives and a bitchy ex-wife. So now Amalia is going to be going to get groceries to start preparing this meal. But when she thinks of Mr. Smith, she gets a feeling in her stomach. And it's like more than a flutter.
I
And it's also
got a
been years
feeling.
since she felt it, but she knows what this feeling leads to. It always ends in heartbreak. So she needs to shake this feeling off. She needs to shake it off, shake it off. She finishes grocery shopping and makes it to Mr. Smith's house and is starting to unpack everything. I'm only calling him Mr. Smith because I gave up and that's all she calls him. But Mr. Smith texted her the code to the hidden key box. And though he mentioned trusting her as a top priority in the interview, it really did not take him long to conclude that he could trust her. She starts to make herself comfortable and she realizes that pretty much this house is barren. Sorry about the word choice. There's basically barely any food in the fridge. There's barely any food in the cabinets. The entire place just feels super Arctic. Not to mention, it's also fucking literally Arctic because it's freezing in this house. But she's like, maybe just the house is cold. Like he just can't be. Okay. He's just simply a very busy man making excuses. And then her mind starts to wander and she starts putting images of the two of them together, but she's trying to stop herself. Her phone goes off and it's Mr. Smith telling her that he's running a few minutes late, but please don't leave. And she was about to ask him why, but he tells her to make herself at home. So she does. She does more than I ever would. And
For
she starts
snooping through his house. Like,
wandering
what the
around.
fuck?
Yeah, and everything is cold, but she also notices that there's no dining room in this house, which could be a problem considering, they're going to be hosting people at this house for dinner, but whatever. But then she finds the bedroom, and it's bright and cozy and inviting, and it's so different than the rest of the house. And for some fucking reason, there's a mini kitchen in this bedroom. Like, what? Use the regular kitchen. I don't fucking know. As she's in her own thoughts, thinking about what type of underwear he wears, because why? Mr. Smith comes in and basically scares the shit out of her, but insists that she can call him Donovan. And he thought that she could use some dinner. And she's trying to be like, no, 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 bro, I gotta go
No,
home.
no,
And
no.
he goes, okay, well then you can just take the food to go, or you can eat here. She stays and ends up eating there. All Donovan can think of is that she is absolutely gorgeous. She calls him out for nothing in the house looking comfortable, and he admits that he's not sure that the architects who designed this even thought anyone would live there. And he's also
He doesn't even really
rare, yeah,
live there.
he's rarely even there, so kind of works out perfect. But they're going to try to figure out where everyone's going to eat for the holiday later on. She asks him if he always keeps the house at negative fucking 20 degrees, and he realizes her nipples are poking through her shirt. So he grabs the remote and turns on the fireplace to warm things up. Different tax bracket. Sounds great. Love that. So he's just also kind of set in the mood. But he says he didn't notice any of these things that she did because he's just never there, and that puts through a memory of his ex-wife telling him that he's never home and never with them. He asks her about her day and they just have more conversations, and she again calls him out for how empty his house is, and he just keeps admiring her. And after raking his gaze over her body again, he sees her blush and he apologizes and tells her that she's just so gorgeous and he cannot take his eyes off of her and that he doesn't mean to make her uncomfortable. And she says, it's okay. And she thanks him for taking a chance on her and that she's eager to see where this goes. He's like, where this goes or like where this goes. And then he starts to lean in and Amalia leans in, but then she interrupts and says that she should go home. Amalia spends the entire next day prepping to keep her mind off of last night. She really wanted to kiss Donovan, but the fear of what would come after kept her from giving in. Bitch, there's this thing called friends with benefits and just fuck him and get it over with. But okay, don't need to worry about what comes after. But anyways, and she's just getting everything. Before she knows it, it is already 6 p.m. But once her brain goes quiet and everything is quiet, she just feels like she was missing Donovan all day. She couldn't be thinking of them when they aren't together, but he's a part of her somehow in the 2 days that she has known him. I added that. She didn't. She just has to be strong. Okay? And just and, and let it all go. This is just one job.
Let it go. Let it go.
But her stomach turns at the thought of ending whatever it is between them before it truly begins. The next morning, she wakes up with turkey on her mind and she goes to Donovan's house and starts to throw herself into work. By 1:30, Donovan is still not at the house and she's a little concerned that she's going to have to like, greet his family and because he's not there. Donovan finally does arrive and her heart does a backflip at the sight of him. He tells her that it smells amazing and asks if he can help her with anything. She lets him know to set the table and to get ready for his family. He compliments her skills in the kitchen and admits he never really knew what to do in the kitchen, but she brought his dead house back to life and he can't wait to taste her
Was it ever
treats.
alive?
No.
Because he talked about the architect and everything. So
Yeah,
how?
I don't know. Himself. She brought his dead soul back
Yeah,
to
but not
life.
his house. Yeah.
No, I know. He wishes that he could just skip the dinner. And she asks why, and he kind of explains a little bit that he just wishes he knew what to say to his kids. I don't know, talk to them
Oh my
and
God.
treat them like he knows that they hate him. He doesn't even know why his ex-wife would suggest this because this is just so weird. And then they start getting close again and they almost kiss. And then the doorbell rings as the family arrives. Amalia is expecting to keep to herself for the whole rest of the night with the whole family there, but Donovan introduces her to everybody and also to his children. Bella and James are adorable, by the way. And she's introduced to a ton of people, even though Mindy, who is his ex wife's parents, are a little standoffish. When it's time to eat, everyone digs into the food and absolutely fucking enjoys it because she is talented. As the night goes on, family members start to leave and everyone asks if she's available to cook for upcoming events. And then all that's left is Donovan, Mindy, and their two kids because Mindy's husband was going to bring her parents back. And listen, she tries not to eavesdrop and focus on the dishes. I'm just a nosy bitch. I would eavesdrop and not feel bad about it. But Mindy and Donovan are discussing something super fucking important. And Bella asks if they can go home, and Mindy tells her that they're just having a discussion. So Amalia offers to watch the kids for them. And she ends up playing with them and having a really good time. But as she's playing, just she gets overcome with emotions and she's crying because she can't have kids of her own because she's barren, which is why I said I'm sorry for the barren comment about his house earlier.
I know, but like, and then she's just playing with these kids
And
and she
she's
starts
crying.
bawling. Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just kind of
Girl, she
bittersweet for,
doesn't need this job. She's therapy.
yeah, yeah.
They both all do, really.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So this is kind of bittersweet for her. Donovan, on the other hand, is having a conversation with Mindy, and she even says he never smiles like this anymore, and she knows that they left off on the wrong foot, and she's very sorry for the way that things ended between them, and that what she was trying to do with making this
When
dinner
she
was not,
cheated,
yeah, she was not, this was not a power play, and that his kids haven't seen him in a year, and they're starting to ask about their dad. And this is also, I didn't care about him a lot, but this is also when I stopped caring about this man either, because what the hell?
you cared about him at all?
No, I didn't. If I had even
Before? You cared about him before?
even if I had a sliver of a care, this like really
I'm not
killed the
gonna
care.
lie. The second the book said that he hadn't seen his kids in a year and didn't know how to connect with him and didn't, I think the specific words it said was didn't know how to love them.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
Oh boy.
done. Nope,
Yeah.
goodbye.
Yeah, because
And
he's also
that was early on. It was
yeah,
like
yeah,
at
yeah,
the
yeah.
first
No, yeah,
glance of him.
yeah. But if anybody had any care for him, this should have killed it immediately. But he's also bitter. And Mindy does explain, like, you weren't there for me or the kids. And Paul currently is, and he takes care of your kids. And you screwed up. We have two kids who deserve growing up knowing their father loves them. And Donovan says he wants to love them, but he just doesn't know how. And he's scared that he screwed them up. No fucking shit. And Mindy tells him to just even put a fraction of the effort that he puts into work into his own family. Oh, snap. And he says that Amalia said something similar. And Mindy says, well, she sounds like a smart woman. And then Donovan
Mm.
apologizes for not being there for her. And Mindy is so happy to hear this. She goes, dude, we've been waiting a long fucking time for you to say that shit. And then and then she says, you can try again. And he looks at Amalia the same way that he used to look at her. And Donovan admits that he thinks he loves her. This woman he literally met like 4 days ago. And now
I don't
I
even think it's been four
understand.
days.
It has been.
Has it? Huh.
Yeah. And I understand that this is a novella. And I get that. But okay, sir. So he wants his future to be his kids and Amalia. She is the
He
woman.
couldn't have been a father without her,
No,
apparently.
apparently not.
Who wants a man like that?
Apparently, this bitch does. Well, she needs therapy. Mindy and the kids end up leaving, and Amalia tells the kids it was really nice to meet them. And then Amalia starts to get ready to do the dishes, but Donovan stops her, and then he kisses her. And she is just useless to ignore this any longer. Donovan lets his hands slide down the sides of her body and tells her she's so beautiful. And her worries are still bouncing around in her head, but with every passing moment, the only thing she can focus on is getting Donovan's shirt off. So she tries, and she's fumbling with the buttons, and he just decides to fucking rip that shit open. And good Lord, looking at him gets her wet instantly. And then he picks her up and sets her on the counter, tells her he wants her, and then he fingers her. And now listen. I feel like he inserted those fingers really fucking one, two, boom, 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 like one right after the other, really fucking quickly.
Oh
And
yeah.
like, you need some prep time for that sometimes, especially if this woman clearly has not slept with anybody in probably 15 years.
He
It's
doesn't know that.
basically, he doesn't, but you know what? I don't care. He's a shit person.
I was gonna say he doesn't care.
That is true.
That's bottom line. He doesn't even care
Okay.
about his own children. He does not care.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Yes, so he fingers her and then he eats her out and she begs him that she wants to taste him, but he insists that this is all about her tonight. What would you maybe her going down on you is what she wants. Maybe that is for her. Some people really enjoy that and that is what they want. But okay, you do you, sir. But then he pulls his fingers out and then he fucks her on the kitchen counter. And after she is done, realization brings her back to earth that she is in love with this man and she starts to cry. And
I'd cry too.
he asks her what's wrong, and instead of saying anything, she just leaves the house. Donovan's confused. We're all
That was the
fucking
right choice. I
confused.
was not
Yeah.
confused.
No. Well,
Well, okay. I was confused by later actions, but I was not confused
her
by the
no, that reasoning I don't know.
if it was what I wanted, I would not have been confused. But I know that she didn't have common sense in that moment.
Yeah. Donovan is confused because obviously he has no idea what the fuck happened. And, that was the hottest sex he's ever had. And Amalia is just so amazing. So he goes to her house and starts ringing on the doorbell. When he gets there, Amalia answers. She's in pajamas, but she'd clearly been crying. And Amalia says, I can't do this. But you do deserve an apology. I shouldn't have led you on. I can't have children. And he says, that doesn't change how I feel about you. You're everything I want. And listen, bro,
He
I
doesn't
already
like
ha-
children anyways. I'm sorry,
I already have kids.
that he doesn't care about. So, I mean, what's the
That's the biggest difference between me and every other man you've had. I don't know what you did to me, but you jump started my heart again. And when I look at you, I want you in my life and I want you to be mine. When I saw you playing with my kids, it made me want to jump in there too and be a fucking parent. And they tell each other that they love each other. And then we have an epilogue, which is 6 months later. And Amalia and Douche Nugget are playing with the kids and they're having such a great time. And the kids are already accustomed to her, which is crazy, but they're also young and impressionable in such a short period of time. Her business had started to take off as soon as she was able to put Donovan's name down on her resume, and big clients are wanting to hire her. And then Donovan proposes, and that is it.
fucking wild times?
So
Wild fucking
stupid.
times.
Yeah.
And not a single character did I really like because so not only did this bitch cheat on him,
Yeah.
but then she still wanted this shitty person like around and then brought her dude that she cheated with into his house and forced all her family members and this dude that her affair into his house to have Thanksgiving. Like none of them were
There was
good.
just so much that happened that was stupid. Um,
Wild
the
times.
only character that I enjoyed in this entire fucking book was the best friend. Anyways,
Probably Brittany or the turkey, but yeah.
the turkey.
I mean, Thanksgiving.
Favorite character we've already decided is going to be the turkey or the best friend, Brittany. Sounds fabuloso for me. Who is your least favorite character? I don't know. The rest of them.
The dude, Donovan.
Dude, Donovan and Amalia,
Like all of
Amelia,
them, but Donovan was
Donovan.
the
Yeah.
top dog
Yeah.
there.
Trying to go
Because
fucking
he even
without your
said he was the
kids?
top
Like,
dog.
what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, so Amazon gives us a 4.0, Goodreads a 3.81, and Storygraph a 3.38.
What did you give it?
I am going to give it a very generous a 1.5, and I don't care.
Oh, now you're making me second guess myself. Or
Oh,
you're
did
making
you
me
rate it
second
higher?
guess. Yeah, well, you're making me second guess what I rated originally. But
What did
yeah,
you rate it originally?
originally I gave it a generous 2.5. But now I think
You
I
don't
should
need to change
maybe.
yourself. I didn't like any of the characters. Like from
You're
the
right.
fucking
No, but
get-go,
you're
as
right. I think it's because I read it directly after I read the other piece of trash that we changed it out
oh,
for.
got you.
And
Okay.
that I think that makes, but like,
Yeah.
which
And
should
we've
not. make a difference. And
But it
honestly, that
does.
should not. But
But
it
we
should stand on its own merits.
but we've also
So,
discussed at the same time, like sometimes we'll read a book and we have an instinct reaction of when we rate them. And
yeah.
then when we discuss them, our ratings end up changing based on rehearing it, I guess, and like kind of seeing it through different lens. So it makes
Yeah.
sense that it would change.
I think I'm
Um,
going to give it a 2 just to kind of semi honor what I did, but also like,
yeah. So the reason I gave it a 1.5 is I didn't care about this bitch from the very beginning. As soon as she was acting woe is me, like I understand acting woe is me a little bit if you're having like issue, whatever. But like you have a great best friend who is trying to help you out here, and you're kind of being a Debbie Downer and a bitch about it. And like,
mm,
d you know, saying, and I didn't like how she described her friend either. Like
yeah.
it kind of sounded like she was just trying to put her into like this like little box of being like this perfect like Barbie style friend. And like that's kind of rude.
No,
And
you're
then
right.
like
I'm trying to figure out why. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
honestly think the only thing
I
I
think
can
it was
think of
just
is
yeah.
because it was coming off of the other one where I was like, ugh, you know?
Yeah, so it just I didn't like how she just like right from the get-go, I fucking hated this person. And I didn't know if maybe it was just my mood, but like I've been in a fabulous mood lately. So like it wasn't that, it just it
Oh,
I didn't
sometimes
like it.
characters, yeah. Like I just read this, so I'm in the middle of reading this Shifter series that is by all these different authors,
Yeah.
but it's like come together because it has like a common theme to have them all down the theme. And none of them are what I would call great,
Yeah.
but some of them are written well enough that I'm like, oh, I'm interested in it. But I got to one of them where, and it was by an author that I hadn't came across yet in the line, and it was a two-parter. So it was a duet within the thing.
Hmm.
And I, this is the first time I flat out just skipped the next book in the series and went to the other one because I'm like, I gave it the whole book.
Yeah.
I forced myself. I gave it the whole fucking book, but I'm not doing an entire another book of that.
Yeah, no.
I can't. And it was awful. It was like, okay, your mate rejected you, and now you're gonna spend this other book how you can try to have him get her back. No, nah, that doesn't work for
Ugh,
me. And it
no.
was no. I'm like, no, no,
Yeah.
thanks.
Cool. All right, peppers. It was not spicy. Like I felt like the scene
No.
was really rushed and it was super quick and like I I am disappointed.
Yeah, maybe poblano for me.
Yeah, we're gonna go poblano. Fabulous. Survivability, I wouldn't have been in this fucking situation in the first place because
Me either.
no thank you. And if a man has told me he hasn't seen his kids in a year, big red flag, not a green flag. That's a red flag, and I would get the fuck out of there. And as much as I like red flags, this is a no-go red flag. This is like a black
Mm,
flag.
yeah, this
Like
is the,
pirate flags, you know what I
yeah.
mean? This is a pirate flag.
Oh, no, no, I like pirate flags.
Fuck.
Yeah.
A plague flag. I don't fucking know. So that was that.
And with that, yeah, that was November specials. I
Hmm.
guess those were the November specials. So
Yep.
let's see if December. No, December's gonna be cray cray. Um, you know, let's
Enjoy the
just
ride.
enjoy riding out the rest of the year.
Enjoy riding. Sounds
Enjoy
fun.
riding because next time Santa is coming. So make sure to keep reading.
And keep it smutty. I just want you to know, my notes say you're being too piggy. Um, she thinks of Mr. Smith. Hiccup. My notes literally say there's a mini kitchen in the bedroom, so he's definitely in a very, very different tax bracket. Donovan, yeah, Donovan finally.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. All of that.
Rewind.
Big fat mess. Re-fucking of the wine.
Anyways.